Hey team, if you're watching this, you've gotten one of these lamps from me and you need to know how to put it together. So, in your kit, you're going to have 3 of these panels with designs on them. One side is kind of unfinished and one is finished and clean. So when you're assembling this, make sure the outside, nice looking side is facing out on the lamp. Also, if your design has letters, words on it, whenever you look at the lamp, those words are going to be mirrored. That's on purpose. That's so that the shadow shows correctly the spelling. Alright, so you're going to have 3 of these panels. You are going to have a base plate. The base plate is going to look more like this. It has an LED chip in the middle, and it has a controller on the bottom for the LEDs. This particular one that has the LED in it already has the feet glued into it. It's like the old style, but I'm doing snap-on style for all these. So I'm going to be showing you how to assemble with this that does not have the LED, and I'll show you the LED stuff later. Next, you're going to have 6 of these little angled clips with holes in them. And then last, you'll need 12 of these little clips with pegs. Hopefully the camera's focusing. These are small. I'm throwing extras in of the clips in case something happens, breaks or whatever, or these clips, like if you have to take things apart a couple of times, you may want to not reuse that clip. It may not hold as strongly, so there's extras in there for that. And then you're going to have 3 of these feet, these little triangle tetrahedra guys. Alright, so step 1 is you want to take your panels and you want to start putting in these little small peg clips. So each of the panels has got 3 spots for these clips to go in. And then also your base plate, it's going to have 3 spots for the clips as well. And you want to put these in so the flat side of the clip is on the finished or outside of the lamp panels. So I'm going to go ahead and I've already got the clips in most of these, but I'm going to just show you real quick how I put these in. So I want to kind of support both sides. So I've got the clip with my thumbs here, and then I've got my fingers here on the other side to kind of support it. And they just kind of snap in, and then make sure they push in as far as you can get them. And go ahead and do the other 2. And again, make sure the flat side of the clip is on the finished outside of the panel. So here's this last one. All the other clips are in for me. You're gonna have 9 more to go. All right, so all your clips are in. Next, you wanna start putting these angled clips on. Now there's only 6 of these, so you're not going to be able to put 3 on each panel because they're going to be sharing these clips between them. So what I like to do is take the first panel. I like to set it down flat with the finished side on the bottom, and then you can just push these clips down onto it and they'll click on. If it does, all right. So first panel, do all 3. Second panel, find the side that's the bottom of the design and put 1 clip on the bottom and put 1 clip on either the left or the right, it doesn't matter. And then we've got third panel and we've got 1 clip left. You want to put it on the bottom again. Alright, so all those are on. Next, you want to take the panel that has just 2 clips on it, set it down in front of you, and then get the panel with 3 clips and make sure the bottom's facing the right way. So on this one, the bottom of the design is this way. So I'm making sure this bottom is pointing this way, and you want to put it on that empty spot with one of the sides. Done. And then last of all, you want to set the last panel that only has a clip on the bottom, set it down, make sure all the panels are facing the right way. I'll try to turn this a little bit, but line it up, click it in on both sides, and you've got the majority of it done. You've got the 3 clips on the bottom for where it'll be going into the base plate. Alright, base plate, you can snap these feet on. So the base plate, it's got these raised ridges and it'll have the LED chip on the top. That's going to be the top side. Clip the feet in from the bottom, and there's an extra foot in the package as well in case you break one of these. I haven't had too much trouble unless I have to take these out, so make sure you put them in the right way, because whenever you take them out, sometimes they do want to break a little bit. If you do happen to need replacement parts, just hit me up. I'll send you some stuff. It doesn't matter. I've got buckets of this stuff laying around at this point. Alright, so we've got our 3 feet. Done. Alright. Almost done now. So the last part is you want to line up with these clips. Kind of put it on. This is a little trickier, and I like to use a tool for this part, kind of. And I've got this little metal thing. You can use a screwdriver. You can use like a dinner knife. I've used a pair of scissors. What you want to do, you want to get it lined up on the bottom of one of these. You want to kind of slide this in here and kind of, so I'm supporting on the bottom of the clip with one finger, the little peg clip, so that it doesn't want to push down and out. And then I'm supporting the other clip, the side clip here, with this. So I'm kind of pinching that a little bit just to kind of hold it in place, and then come in with your metal of whatever you're using and push up with your bottom finger, push down with the clip, and it clicks in. So that one's good. That one's lined up. Clicked in, good. Make sure you can kind of see that it's starting to seat on those clips before you push it down. Alright, that's good. So the lamp is all assembled, and at this point all you've really got left to do is plug in this barrel plug to the controller on the bottom. And the controller can kind of slide around in there, so just kind of support it from the backside with a finger when you go to plug it in. And that's basically it. So the other side of this cord is a USB cord. So all you need is like a USB little wall charger, wall block to plug that into. Or I like to, if I'm setting it somewhere and it doesn't need to run 24/7, or if I, like at events whenever I'm running my lamps, I use these little cell phone charger batteries and plug it in. So that's what we're using today for the example. And that's basically it for all of that. Now there's an app you can download to control these LEDs. The app is called LED Hue. It's on Android, and it should be on the iPhone market. Let me know if it's not, you iPhone users. It's a little weird to use. So these controllers were designed to work with LED strips that have a lot of pixels. These lamps just have one very powerful LED pixel. This back here. So a lot of the patterns that are built into the controller and the app don't really make sense when you only have one pixel, and it ends up just kind of flashing a bunch of different colors, and it's not very pleasant. So the LED Hue app, you download that, and if your lamp's plugged in, it'll scan on Bluetooth and show a list of devices. You're looking for one that says SP110E. That's going to be your lamp. That's the model number of the controller, actually. And you can long press on the SP110E and rename it to whatever you want to call your lamp, if you have a triangle lamp or shadow or whatever. So you can long press, and it gives you an option to rename. So when you click on it at the bottom of the screen, it's going to show, it's going to have two little scroll things to select options. And I usually have these already programmed, but if I happen to miss one, you want to have the first column set to RGB, and the second column, it'll auto detect the correct one. I think it's like WS2811 or something like that. Once those are set correct, also there's going to be a number of pixels. It defaults to 600. I should have that set to 1 pixel for you. Make sure those are all set right, then click enter, and it'll bring you into the settings for the lights. So there's one option where you can just select solid colors, and you can pick whatever color you want. And then there's options for, it has a bunch of different pre-programmed patterns. All the patterns suck because it's made for LED strips, except for number 64 is what I use, and that's what we're using right here. Number 64 does like a rainbow fade. So if you're going to set it to a pattern, I would set it to that one. And then there's 3 little sliders at the bottom of the screen. The second one controls the speed. I like to set it all the way to the left to the slowest version. This one right here is not, I think it's like the default speed, but I really like the slow color fade. So that's what I would recommend, either a solid color or pattern number 64, and then set the speed, which is the second slider, all the way down. I think that's it. If y'all have any trouble at all, like I've just started making these, so I would love some feedback on if you had trouble assembling it, if you had parts breaking or anything like that. If you're having trouble with the LEDs, let me know and we'll help you get that fixed. I appreciate your support for buying these lamps. It's really nice to be able to, I've been doing these metal lamps for a while and they're so expensive to make. So being able to do these 3D printed ones and kind of share my art with people, you know, something they can take home and have with them is really nice, and I appreciate it. All right, y'all have a Merry Christmas. We'll catch you next time.